Hi all. Unit 2 deals with theory of consumer behavior. So what is consumer behavior? So this is syllabus of Unit 2, consumer behavior. Consumer behavior, the definition of consumer behavior. What is consumer sovereignty? Its limitations. The approaches to study of consumer behavior. Cardinal approach, the law of equimarginal utility, ordinal approach and indifference curve analysis, and consumer surplus concept. So we'll begin with what is consumer equilibrium or what is consumer behavior. So who is a consumer? So what is the basic difference between customer and consumer? So customer is a person who purchases a product which he may or may not use, whereas consumer means he is purchasing for his own personal use. So that's a difference between, we always often confuse this term consumer and customer. So the basic difference between consumer and customer. So what is consumer behavior? What is there to learn much about consumer behavior? Basically, most of the business entrepreneurs, they'll be always keen in observing the consumer behavior. Why? What's the reason? Because basically based on the consumer behavior, they wanted to alter the product, they wanted to introduce new dimensions of the product, they even wanted to decide on the pricing. So there are so many aspects related to the consumer behavior. So consumer behavior theory or theory of consumer behavior, it seeks to explain the determination of consumers' equilibrium. Then what do you mean by consumers' equilibrium? So consumers' equilibrium, it refers to a situation when a consumer gets maximum satisfaction out of his given resources. So whatever resources available, how the consumer gets maximum satisfaction. So that is what is consumer's equilibrium. So consumer spends his money income in such a way that he should derive a maximum satisfaction from the purchase. So you can relate this with yourself when you go to a shop to purchase something. So how you will purchase? When you pay the money, you purchase something. The main important thing is you should get maximum satisfaction when you're spending 500 rupees, when you're spending 1000 rupees and you're buying something, the ultimate aim of you is to get a maximum satisfaction out of your purchase. So economic theory has approached the problem of determination of consumer equilibrium in two different ways. So we can determine this consumer equilibrium through two different analyses according to economic theory. Okay. So one is cardinal utility analysis or cardinal approach. Another one is ordinal utility or ordinal approach. So what is this cardinal approach or cardinal utility theory? So basically, cardinal approach to the theory of consumer behavior is based upon the concept of utility. It assumes that utility is capable of measurement. So cardinal approach and ordinal approach. So according to cardinal approach, we are actually under the assumption that utility can be measured. So it can be added, subtracted, multiplied, and so on. So according to the approach, the utility can be measured in cardinal numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Whereas ordinal approach is developed by Hicks and Allen, it is called indifference curve analysis also. So in ordinal approach, the consumer compares the satisfaction from different combination of goods. So they are understanding the satisfaction by comparing different combinations of goods. So that is what is ordinal approach. So today we are going to discuss in detail what is cardinal approach or utility analysis. So right now you may not be that much clear what is utility. So we are going to discuss it in detail what is utility or what we mean by utility. So this concept we have already discussed. Ordinal approach is developed by Hicks and Allen, whereas cardinal approach is developed by Alfred Marshall in the year 1890. So cardinal approach to the theory of consumer behavior is based upon the concept of utility. It assumes that utility is capable of measurement. So it can be added, subtracted, and multiplied. So according to this approach, utility can be measured in cardinal numbers. So Fishers has used the term util as a measure of utility. Thus, in terms of cardinal approach, it can be said that one gets from a cup of tea 5 utils, From a cup of coffee, 10 utils, and from a rasgulla, 15 utils worth of utility. Then what is this utility in detail? We'll see what is utility. So utility in economics is basically the quality in a good or service by virtue of which our wants are satisfied. So in other words, utility is defined as a want satisfying power of a commodity. So in simple way, we'll be explaining utility as a want satisfying power of a commodity. So according to Robinson, utility is the quantity in commodities that makes individuals want to buy them. And according to Hibdon, utility is the quantity of a good to satisfy a want. Okay, so there are basically few features for utility. So utility is a subjective concept, utility is relative. Why utility is subjective? Because it deals with the mental satisfaction of a man. So it is subjective in nature. So a commodity may have different utility for different person. Cigarette has utility for a smoker, but for a person who does not smoke, it doesn't have any utility. Utility will be nil. So it is basically subjective, depends on person to person. So utility is relative. Why utility is relative? Utility of a good never remains the same. It varies with time and place. So fan has utility in summer, more utility in summer, whereas in winter season it has less utility, right? So it is relative. And utility and usefulness. A commodity having utility need not be useful. So cigarette and liquor, it is having utility for a smoker or a drunkard person. Okay, but then it is not useful, right? And utility and morality. Utility is independent of morality. Use of liquor or cigarette may not be proper from moral point of view. So we can't compare. So we can't relate utility with morality, because as this intoxicant satisfies wants of drunkards and smokers, they have utility for them, right? So these are the basic features of utility. So today we will conclude with discussing various concepts of utility. So first is initial utility. The different types or concepts of utility. Initial utility is a utility derived from the first unit of a commodity. So utility derived from the first piece of bread. Today for your breakfast, you might have had bread and butter. Okay, so you had three pieces of bread. So initial utility is the utility derived from the first piece of bread. When you had your first piece of bread, what is the utility derived? That is called initial utility. Whereas total utility is a utility derived from the entire units. Say, for example, three slices of bread you had. So the total utility you derived from the three slices of bread is a total utility. So according to Lefwich, total utility refers to the entire amount of satisfaction obtained from consuming various quantities of a commodity. And the third concept of utility is the marginal utility. This is very important when it comes to the theory of consumer behavior. It is a utility derived from the additional unit of a commodity consumed. The changes that takes place in the total utility by the consumption of an additional unit of a commodity is called marginal utility. So according to Chaplin, marginal utility is the addition made to total utility by consuming one or more additional units. Say, for example, when you had three pieces of bread, we're again having one more piece. That additional one unit utility is called the marginal utility. So suppose a consumer gets 10 utils from the consumption of one mango and 18 utils from the consumption of the second mango. Then the marginal utility of second mango is 18 minus 10. That is 8 utils, right? So 10 utils you derive from the first mango. Then second mango, when he consumed 18 utils from the two mangoes together. So 18 minus 10 is a marginal utility. So these are three concepts of utility. So I hope you understood the three concepts clearly. So thank you for listening.